Welcome to Psychic Cowgirl Radio with Shannon Lackman. Practical, insightful conversations to empower and inspire you on your personal journey. From her cattle ranch in Alberta, this sassy psychic cowgirl uses her connections to universal energies to guide you to greater awareness and wisdom.
Good morning. Welcome to the podcast. I was really sick last week, which is why I just played the chakra cleanse and balancing, which I needed. And I'm still recovering from it a little bit. You can tell in my voice. I do know why I got sick. It's been a rough week. It's been a rough few months. And so today I wanted to talk about grief and grace. And I have an absolutely amazing guided imagery if you're dealing with grief. And so I'm going to make sure I start that at a specific time, or I don't know. I feel all over the place, and I feel so out of my comfort zone on so many things. And you know what? I think that's okay. That's okay, even though it's crunchy. So my dad's celebration of life was this last Friday. And as you all know, I'm a reverend. I help people with their celebrations of life. I can't even talk. It's because I feel very bumpy about all this. And it's my thing. And I wanted to help plan and flat out asked my brother and said I wanted to and was told no. I was told no with a whole bunch of condescension, too. And I thought, okay, I have to work through this as well as grieving my dad. Okay. And so I knew that it was going to be a bumpy day. One thing that I have in my favor is my talents, skill, and, you know, I am a medium. And Dad warned me, we'll say, or shared with me how this was going to go. So I did have some preparation, and it's wild because he was right about all of it. And so I did feel prepared to a certain extent. But, you know, you always have that little bit of hope that who or how somebody else handles a situation is not going to be, that they're going to do better or be better or however we want to look at it. But that's not what happened here. It was blatantly obvious. And it is what it is, right? I had to figure out a way to accept it. I love the let them theory because I let them. And because the other option is to be devastated. I'm super disappointed and hurt, but I can work through that because I had my people, right? And my people were like, that was pretty obvious and blatant. And I'm like, yep. And I'm not making any excuses for what happened. What happened, happened. That's all there is to that. But I will say this. I'm totally entertained by some parts of it. And I got to chat with people that I've not seen in a whole bunch of years. And I could feel Dad's energy being supportive of me the whole time. Because in a delightful turn of events, him and I became allies in the last months of his life. And I know why it is. It's because I was just being there and showing him unconditional love. It wasn't transactional. I didn't want anything from him. I wanted to support him and help him because he was in a situation that I just was not acceptable to me whatsoever. And so I'm still getting a lot of gifts in that. And, you know, as entertaining as it is, he didn't lie to me about anything and still isn't. It's kind of wild because that's not, I mean, he had never worked through a lot of his trauma, and him and I didn't agree on a lot of stuff. And, you know, I would have liked to have put my thoughts in on his eulogy, but that was not an option to me. So I'm actually going to write my own. And I might reach out to my other brother and get his thoughts. We'll see. Because I feel like him and I should have been more included. Because we are his kids. But you know what? People are who they are. And you have to find a way to accept it. So I channeled a lot of grace when I was there. And to do it, I just grounded my energy in the earth. And hung out with the people that I do love. And relished in their support. And the people that, you know, were deliberately trying to be hurtful, I just blocked it. You know, I had myself in that bubble of energy because that's their stuff, not mine. And you do you, boo, right? And so I, at the end of the event, I was going to a certain place, and I didn't particularly want to, but people that I cared about were going. And then I found out that other people absolutely refused to go because of the situation, and I was like, dang it. If I would have talked to them first, I would have went there. But I got to tell you, Dad did me a total solid. There was a storm that happened, so where we were was completely uncomfortable, and we had to leave because we couldn't stay. And I got to go where I wanted and had a lovely visit with my other brother and his wife, and my kids had a great visit. And, you know, they've never had that kind of visit with the other part of the family. When we left, and we didn't leave until like 10 o'clock at night. We didn't get home until 2 in the morning, and the moon was beautiful. And we left nourished. We left feeling connected, and I'm sure they all did too. We had a really good visit because so many secrets have come out in the last 2 years when I reconnected with Dad. So many secrets. And I just think, you know what, people? It's not good for your soul, but you have to do you. Everybody's on their own particular journey, and they have to figure it out. And I'm just not in the same vibration as they are, and I have to figure out a way to accept that and know that it's okay. And that's where the channeling grace comes in. Because, you know, in my grief, I would like to have bonded together, but that's not who they are or what they're capable of with me. I'm just way too different for them. I'm a little too shiny, I guess. And so that's okay. Even when it feels like it's not, you have to figure out how to make it okay. And channeling grace and compassion. I do not wish ill on them. I do not wish bad things for them. I wish them to be happy. The energy of them right now is not happy, but I hope they get there. And, you know, if the only way they can deal with their own stuff is by hurting other people, they have to figure that out. I don't have to accept that. I can be hurt and acknowledge that and work through it, but I don't have to be okay with it, right? We're done, and that I am okay with. And so totally fascinating from, you know, my Reverend Shannon metaphysical perspective, where I was in a really crappy situation, but it was okay. It was okay. And I really trusted my intuition and my energies and got through it with grace and integrity. You know, with my past life regression things that I do, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to remind you of it because it's super interesting that when you cross over, the first question you get asked is, did you live your life with doing business honestly and having integrity with it? And if you didn't, you're going to have a do-over. And did you enjoy God's creation? As in, and if you didn't, you might get a do-over. And that's okay. Because I do believe that we're here to, our souls to grow and learn. And Carolyn Mace always uses the metaphor of a building, right? Where what you see from the first level is very different from what you see from, say, level 5. And as we grow and evolve from a soul perspective, we're leveling up. And it's uncomfortable, and it can be messy because we don't learn when it's easy, and that's okay. And you can do it. You got this, even when it feels hard, even when it feels particularly messy. So the good part of it, I have my people, and I get to enjoy all those people this weekend at a family wedding that I'm an officiant for. And even if the other people don't acknowledge that I'm a reverend and good at this stuff, it's okay. They're not obligated to me to acknowledge that, and I'm not obligated to them. And we're done, and it's okay to be done. I intend to have so much fun, and I convinced some of my other cousins to get a hotel room with us, and we're just going to enjoy celebrating love. I'm so excited, so delighted that after having such an extreme, we get to go the other way. And you can channel grace. So how do you channel grace when it's feeling uncomfortable and you might want to be reactionary? Think about, ground your energy. Visualize or imagine those big, thick roots going deep into the earth. Tune into your heart and show compassion for yourself and for them. Because here's the thing. Say I went a different direction and I had a little snap show. All that would happen is it would be shifted, that I was the bad guy, that I was selfish, and I wanted all the attention, and didn't I know that they were grieving? Because, they spent more time with him, and, they would turn it around to make me, they would totally be gaslighting, right? I mean, that's how it goes, right? That I was unreasonable and the bad person because I wasn't showing them any compassion or understanding that they were grieving, because that's kind of what happens when you're dealing with people that are so self-involved. They flip it, and then because you have compassion and empathy and understanding, you feel terrible, and then you second guess, well, maybe it is me. Maybe I'm the bad guy here. But you're not. You're in all those same energies, and they're not giving you compassion. But you have to figure out what your integrity is. The golden rule, treat people as you wish to be treated. Yes, but that doesn't mean you get walked on or don't have boundaries. Treat them as you wish to be treated, and when in doubt, go with courtesy and respect. But with boundaries, that you're not getting walked on, that you're not getting, used or abused. So channeling the grace is channeling compassion for yourself and just staying disengaged. stay removed. Don't talk to them if you feel like you would end up in a fight. It's okay. You don't have to. You get to honor what your soul, what your spirit, what your mental health can handle in those moments. Grief is incredibly hard. And you have to remember that when you're grieving, you're not just grieving the loss of that individual. You're grieving the loss of possibilities. You're grieving the loss of woulda, shoulda, couldas. You're grieving the loss of, maybe things could have gone differently. But I want you to truly understand that it's okay that things did go the way they did. I'm well aware that had I had a different or maybe more of a relationship with my dad, I wouldn't have the one that I have with my mom because it was very divided. And he used to call me up and scream at me about her. And I said, I'm not doing this. I'm choosing her. Everybody else seems to be choosing you. And all the secrets that come out, all the things that were said that weren't true. That's the other thing. When you're channeling grace, you're also channeling truth. And what might be true for you might not be true for somebody else because of their perspective, definition, and understanding. But as long as you're true to you, you will be okay. You'll get through this bumpiness. No one said life was easy, right? I feel super relieved that this is all over. And as much as I wish that it would maybe have gone a little differently, I'm okay. If I want to write my own eulogy, I will. That's more inclusive. And it's okay. So channeling grace means channeling your own inner integrity. And when in doubt, courtesy and respect with boundaries. And it'll be okay. My boys were so awesome. I mean, they had my back 1,000%, and nothing will ever change that. That's the other thing I do know. My family, as in myself, my husband, my 2 boys, and my mom, we wouldn't have the relationships that we have with each other necessarily if things had gone differently. And I am so grateful for that because there's love that's not transactional. And yay. Okay, so I want to make sure that I do this grief meditation because it is seriously powerful. And grief comes in many forms. You can be grieving relationships that have ended. You can be grieving jobs that have ended. You can be grieving possibilities that have ended. Like, grief doesn't have to just necessarily be someone who's crossed over and you're grieving them. So that's why I want to do this absolutely amazing grief meditation because it's about the pathways of change. And so I'm going to go ahead and take a moment, take a breath, shift gears, and let's do this. Becoming aware of your breathing. Just notice it for a few moments. Taking these moments to gently focus on your breath. Then, let's take 3 big, deep breaths as deeply as possible as we begin to release and then let go. These are the breaths that signal it's time to go within as the normal, natural breathing will occur after. Go ahead. Visualize or imagine a gentle, warm, balmy breeze as it wafts around, wafting around your head, your neck and shoulders, and with every breath, as this lovely breeze continues to move gently around, there's a gently and easily releasing and a letting go feeling going on, becoming more and more comfortable with every breath. Across the upper back, circling around through your chest, a warm and nurturing feeling as the breeze continues to comfort. Down both arms, hands, and fingers, releasing and letting go. And with every breath taken, perhaps there may begin to be some wondering. Is it a breathing of the breeze, or is the breeze breathing me? With every breath, the breeze continues circling around through the mid-back and around through your solar plexus. Every breath drifting deeper now. The gentle sensations of the warm, balmy breeze as it continues around through your lower back and circling around through your belly, releasing and letting go. Becoming more and more comfortable with every breath. The breeze continues moving around thighs, knees, calves, ankles, and around through your feet. Now and with every breath, becoming completely and thoroughly comfortable, calm, and at ease. Being at one with the breeze, and the breeze still gently, still easily moving all around and all through. So that at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, deeply, deeply relaxed. So an invitation has been received to take a walk through the archways of the zigzagging pathways of change. Only those who are ready for letting go of the old and picking up the new are invited to walk these pathways. Is that you? They say many feel a renewed spirit after the zigzag experience, that self-assurance and peacefulness are sure to be some of the gifts from the paths. So getting a sense of the expanded landscape within. The gateway entrance to the paths and their archways is easy to allow. For in this comfort state, once something is left behind, to imagine walking through becomes the first zigzagging path. To leave something behind of what is no longer needed or wanted, simply breathe. Long, deep breaths. Breathe it out. Let it go. And with a sense of breathing it out and letting it go, the gateway entrance opens to the first zigzag where hope stands to greet and meet and walk along beside. Walking and talking with hope begins the first upliftment. What's that essential thing about hope that brings a brighter something? Let hope skillfully be ever present as the path continues zigzagging. Hope is there with you. Hope is your ally. Before moving from this path to the next, there is an awareness of the archway up ahead and something else is being ready to be let go of. Hope is there to help. Breathe long, deep breaths. Breathe it out. Let it go. With hope's help, the letting go of the old is accomplished. And the next pathway of zigzag is revealed. And so going forward means going through the archway to find positive energy happily awaiting. Positive energy offers an embrace, and the sun shines brightly, and a sense of personal freedom begins to build up inside that says, it's okay to feel and move through it. So now with hope and positive energy on either side of you, the second upliftment begins to take place as the zigzagging continues. And even though it is the dominant vibration of positive energy that helps to restore and promote better feelings, so as the next archway is made known, to simply breathe again becomes easier. So just breathing again, breathing it out, letting go of something else. Let go of the old to continue moving forward. Passing through, the next archway goes smoothly because healing is happening. Healing is there, ever present, moving through and all around. Healing gives a tender, caring sense of being that is happening in every moment. And with hope and positive energy on either side, the forward motion is as a team. And a third upliftment takes you to the next level as this zigzagging energy continues. But it is hardly noticed with the team effort so strong. A sense that another archway on the next zigzag pathway is just up ahead and around the bend. But now a deep sense of self-assurance is beginning to grow with hope, positive energy, and healing all around. And so again, with long, deep breaths, breathe it out. Just simply breathing, the team together helps the letting go process. Breathe out more of what is no longer needed and wanted. Let it go. Simply breathe. Big, deep breaths now. Passing through the next archway comes the realization that self-assurance is now fully fledged and carried within. The team all around of hope, positive energy, healing, and self-assurance are strong and bright, foursquare strong, and the fourth upliftment is now about to take place. And then, here it is, another zigzag, as another pathway makes itself known. On this pathway, often people ask themselves questions, and all the while, it seems that as these questions come up, all the pathways are mixed around together, and for a moment, there might be a wondering if this is a roundabout or a maze. But hope, positive energy, healing, and self-assurance are there, all pointing the way to the answer, which is just through the next archway. So it just keeps moving forward, keep following the pathway, and move forward. And yet, first, let's breathe again. Some long, deep breaths. Let more go. Hope. Positive energy. Healing. and self-assurance are helping all together now. This is the team extraordinary. Just breathe it out. Let it go. Let it all go. You got this. And finally, through the archway, it is seen, gleaming, the unmistakable, the unshakable courage. Passing through this archway, courage is the crowning glory and only exists because of hope, positive energy, healing, and self-assurance. The fifth upliftment to the highest now, and courage becomes at the center of it all, helping to evoke an attitude that says, more and more, it begins to be possible that going through, this going forward, even all this zigzagging on the pathways, that something positive is coming around the bend. Many people at this point begin to feel a little more in control of their mind and body. Even though the pathway has lots of twists and turns, they start to get a sense of how far they have come. Many people find a new determination and discover that the pathway begins to become more even, less and less zigzagging, more and more a straight pathway ahead. And that's when they move into a deeper level of understanding of who they really are and what they really want out of life. Happiness. And it takes courage to choose happiness. So with that, there's another sort of internal voice that begins to surface. A voice that says, more and more, I'm becoming comfortable with choosing happiness. Moving forward is becoming easier. More often, the feeling becomes familiar that I can do this. And you can. And then it's time to breathe again. Long, slow, deep breaths. Just simply breathing. Renewed spirit now and thriving. I'm going to give you a few moments to breathe. Let's do 5 big deep breaths, breathing in the positives, breathing out, letting it go, all the negatives. Nice. While the archways of zigzagging pathways are further and further behind now, the road ahead becomes more doable with those energies of hope that are there with you. Positive energy, healing, self-assurance, and courage as your ever-present companions. Making room for peacefulness, strength, clarity, and a sense of well-being as each day in every way becomes easier and easier down the road. Recognize the good qualities, the positive qualities of these images and energies, for they are so appreciative for your willingness to take this journey with them today. Connect to them, be them, know them, love them as they connect with you, know you, and love you. Let that go deep within and be reinforced with all the positives now at 0 to reinforce. And now at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open, wide awake. Say your first name out loud. Okay, that, I had to, not cry during that. You have allies in the energies of hope, positive energy, healing, self-assurance, and courage. Come back to this as often as you need. These are your allies. You can do this. You got this. All right. Sending you all a great big hug and a blessing. Sign up for the energy clearing. That's tomorrow. We're going to release energies of overthinking. Yeah, we do that. And self-doubt, and invoke some more clarity and confidence and a blessing boost. Big hugs. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to Psychic Cowgirl Radio with Shannon Lackman. Practical, insightful conversations to empower you on your personal journey. To connect with Shannon directly, visit psychiccowgirl.com. That's PSYCHICCOWGIRL.com.